We now have the frivolous lawsuits. You remember back in July 4th of 2020?
Oh, yes.
The George Floyd riots.
Yes.
Well, two things happened in Atlantic City. First, on Memorial Day, you had an absolute riot where about 100 people broke into stores, broke the windows, looted the stores, went off with the stuff, fought with the police, created total chaos, and basically the shopping center known as the Walk in Atlantic City has really never been the same. They called neighborhood people. They did interviews. They looked at video. Hours and hours of gumshoe detective work. They identified the 95 people who did that. They had them arrested. And then suddenly, nobody pressed the charges. Nothing happened. The cases disappeared. There was no justice. And it had to come from Governor Murphy or the prosecutor at the time. Because in Trenton, you had the identical thing. You had police cars set on fires. You had shops looted. You had windows broken. Nobody arrested. Nobody faced any consequence for that whatsoever. I'm convinced that even though Atlantic City Police and Marty Small did a heroic job, somebody at the county and state level suppressed those cases. That was in May of 2020. A couple months later, 4th of July weekend, named
Steve Young.
Steve Young wanted to have a confrontation. They had about 30 of them. They started to block Atlantic Avenue. The police were accommodating. They walked to try to block the Albany Avenue Bridge coming in. Remember, this is the busiest weekend of the year.
That's right.
That you kill that weekend, you kill the livelihood of thousands of people throughout Atlantic City. And put thousands of people out of work. It's the most awful thing you could do. They got steered away from Albany Avenue. Then they're going to block the expressway. And they actually went into the expressway. And only after putting up with them for like 2 or 3 hours, the Atlantic City Police arrested them. And once again, somebody stopped them from being prosecuted. The evidence was overwhelming. They were blocking traffic. They ignored direct orders. But for whatever reason, they were not prosecuted. The cases got dismissed. And now they have filed papers to sue Atlantic City for $50 million. Why are taxes too high? Why are everything so affordable? Why is insurance expensive? Why are lawsuits expensive? This is part of it.